Segment 3, Gold and Black Live, and you know, when you have Gene Keady on your show, you're going to have some interesting conversation. We already know that. Most of the stuff that we do off air is the fun stuff. But Coach, welcome to the show, and welcome back to West Lafayette. Did this hurricane thing, did you leave a little early because of that?
No,
okay.
We had a Big Brothers Big Sisters banquet in Indianapolis last night with Matt Painter,
Yeah.
so we came in for that early.
And yet, any news of how they're doing down there from at your home?
Oh, I call my neighbor all the time,
And
Scott McNeese, and he says everything's good. He emptied my pool and made sure the water was down for that. So no wind got us. We missed a good blow. So
Yeah,
it was great. We
yeah,
got lucky.
You know, last year's one too, with the one that hit Wilmington. Those poor folks have really gotten it
Yep.
twice. I mean, it's hard to imagine on what they're going through. All right. You're a longtime coach. You've had to motivate teams that have been up and down, and Purdue has a tough loss last week in football against Nevada, game that on paper all us experts said they can't lose. They did. What do you tell guys to keep their spirits up? Jeff Brom's kind of built out of the same cloth that you are. He's an emotional guy. What do you tell them if you're going to address Purdue's football team tomorrow? What would you tell them?
Don't throw interceptions.
Like
Don't
that.
take your helmet off.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to, and don't get off sides, and they can get all that stuff corrected. So they'll be okay.
Yeah. Did you stay up and watch that
Oh
to
yeah,
the very
till
end?
2 in the morning. Yes.
Crazy.
Yep.
I mean, did you think that 56-yard field goal? The way the momentum was going when the guy kicks the game-winning field goal.
I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a chance he'd make it. So,
Yeah.
but that's a heck of a play. So
Oh,
that was
no
great.
doubt.
It was
You
great.
can't-
It was great on their part, but sad on our part.
Rondale Moore, the Purdue's sophomore, All-American. He's been a fun guy to coach in basketball, don't you? I mean, he played some basketball, obviously in high school. Some talented. He reminds me. It'd been fun to watch him and Carson Edwards in the same backcourt together. But Rondale Moore's a pretty special athlete.
Well, they go to class every day and listen to you in practice. They're fun to coach.
And if not,
If not, well, there'd be some things that go on.
I know you had some guys.
We
that
didn't
were
make
like-
threats. We just made promises.
Yeah. All right. Now you're here for the week. You're here for the whole week, and then you're going to go to the TCU game as well the following week. Or
No, I think just we'll go back Sunday.
Sunday. So
And
you have
play it by ear.
yeah, and you have a chance to. Obviously, much talked about your football playing career and football. Is it fair to say football was your first love as a sport, or is that not really true?
I led in 4 sports in college, so
I know, but what did you
I
love?
was probably best at baseball.
Yeah.
But then I went with the Steelers a little bit for a cup of coffee, and then it was okay in football. So
Yeah.
it was fun. It was a good time in my life.
What time in baseball? What position did you play?
Third base in Legion, and then outfield in college.
And they said you could run like anything. You were great.
Pretty
could
fast.
run-
It's pretty fast. But
Yeah. That
those days are long gone.
No, they're not. They're not from that standpoint. You got speed in all other kinds of ways. But when you look at come back, and I don't know how much you've had a chance to drive around on campus.
Oh, my
since you've
goodness.
Can you believe those?
Oh my goodness!
Those
Great change.
13-story buildings.
It's unbelievable.
And
I'm
these-
very impressed.
You
yes.
like it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
You've always been someone that's kind of embraced change, and I mean, if
Yeah.
it's coming, it can't help. You look at some of that stuff in terms of recruiting, and what it does to the university. It's pretty impressive.
I tried to adapt to change and make use of the modern way of doing things, but sometimes I was a little old school too about things.
Well, you definitely were old school.
Yeah,
about
but
something.
I had my last couple of years at Purdue. I had parent meetings.
Yeah.
Get him in and talk to him about, say, if your son's got a car, he's got to pay for a parking permit. He just can't park his car anywhere because he's a basketball player. So he has to pay his permit to park wherever he needs to park. There's a place to park. So, and don't ask me why he's not playing if he's not playing. There's a reason. So if usually a freshman, you don't play a lot. Sophomore year, you start playing, breaking in some, and your junior year, you better be in the starting lineup quite a bit, and your senior year, you better be all Big Ten. So that was kind of the progress we taught him, or wanted to be.
I think that your protege and Matt Painter tries to follow some of that. I know that parent thing is a little more, maybe a little more challenging these days than it
Yes.
was in your heyday.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any doubt.
Yeah, and that.
I know I talked to Coach Weber and Coach Izzo at Michigan State about those things, and It's not nearly like it used to be.
Yeah.
So, but nothing is.
Yeah, Bruce Weber has. You're certainly proud of what he's done at K-State and a place K-State that means a lot to you. What's been his? You know, he's matured as a coach and has done well just about everywhere he's been. Had some challenges, but Kansas State, he seems to really have that program.
Well, I
on a very
think he's
stable
another
footing.
guy. He adapts to change, probably better than I did. So he was always my guy that was highly detailed in organization, and probably the best assistant I ever had. But I had some good ones. You know,
Yeah.
Matt Painter was great. Link Darner was great. You know, Conzo Martin was great. So we won because we had good people around us.
Yeah, Steve.
Kathy O'Brien, I just had lunch with
Yeah.
her, my secretary, and she was the reason we won. And then the weight coaches and everyone that worked with us is the reason you won. You're a family, and everybody works together.
Steve Lavin, you hearing much from him these days?
Oh, yeah.
What's he been up to?
He works for Fox
Yeah.
TV in LA and San Francisco, so he's okay. He's doing a great job.
How were you when you had to be? You weren't the boss anymore as the head coach, and you had a chance to work for Steve Lavin. You worked with the Raptors for a while. How was that an adjustment for you? Is just being in a different role as a coach in basketball?
How was I?
Yeah,
Not happy.
Because you like to be
No,
the boss.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I loved living in New York, first
Yeah.
of all. That's where I met Kathleen.
Yeah.
And then St. John's was a great university, and I just enjoyed being around basketball. We played in the Madison Square Garden and
Yeah.
over at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And then we had our own home court there in Queens. So it was a great time for me, and I really enjoyed it.
Why did a guy coming from where you learned in Kansas and what made you like New York so much? What was just
A lot
a big
of
city?
action.
Always
A
action.
lot of great places to eat.
Yeah, but that is
A lot
true.
of things going on. Yankees was there.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of races in the summer, so it was just a lot of stuff going on.
How did you grow up a Yankees fan, though, living? It was just because the Yankees were first. I mean, Brian Newbert said he has a reason he lived close to there growing up, but
It's a
is
good
it just because they
question.
were a national brand, or why?
When I was an eighth grader, my eighth grade reading teacher was Frank Leahy's niece.
Okay.
Remember Frank
No-
Leahy,
Notre Dame?
coach of Notre Dame?
Yeah.
And she liked sports, and she let us listen to the World Series when the Dodgers and the Yankees played.
Yeah.
And I always picked the Yankees as my favorite. That's how I got started with the Yankees, because of my reading teacher in the eighth grade.
But you didn't become a Notre Dame fan because of Frank Leahy.
No.
Or-
No.
that would have been a
It's
long.
okay. We won't go there.
No, but Frank Leahy was one of the great coaches.
But Notre
in the-
Dame's a great school.
And one of the great coaches in the history of college football, certainly. So
exactly.
he was all
Yep.
of that and more. All right, I did have a chance. Your dear friend and former player Kurt Clausen, and he may be watching because he and I we tried to connect via phone last night. And he has talked about how much you meant to him and the fact that he said he recalled the time after his season was over. It didn't end the way he wanted because you guys lost to Memphis in '84 after winning the Big Ten championship. You lose to Keith Lee. He said he'll never forget that when you pulled him in the office after that game, you said, hey, Kurt, you gave everything you had. You left all of it on the court for us. And he said, and obviously that was the start of a relationship with a player that has continued 34 years later. I mean,
Yeah, he
talk
came to
about
Myrtle
that.
Beach a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
he spent some time with. He's such a generous person and has been so successful as a congressman and as a businessman, and got his business degree from Harvard. So
Yeah.
he's been a very successful person in a lot of venues.
But
So
you
I
guys,
love it.
Kurt's Kurt, and you love Kurt, a different guy. Carson Cunningham, another guy that
Oh, yeah.
you're just never going to find a guy that has a more. Carson's is like Kurt. There's some similarities in my view because they're both extremely smart guys, very well read, have opinions on a lot of things. A lot of them I don't agree with all the time, but they're smart guys.
That's what's great about being an American.
I know, and
We can agree to disagree.
That's good. And Carson is doing well as well. I mean,
Oh yeah, he's coaching.
But he about drove me
Continent
crazy the
Word in
first-
San
yeah.
Antonio. He's written a book called American Hoops.
Yeah, which
It's
is
one
a
of his
great
books.
book.
He's written 3 or 4 books.
Yeah.
So, and we talk about once every 2 weeks. So it's fun to
and
talk
he's
to
down
him.
in Incarnate Ward, right?
in San Antonio.
Incarnate Word, I should say.
Incarnate
not
Word, yes.
and first head coaching job.
Yes.
And,
Well, he was the head coach at Carroll College.
right, but I mean, and now in the Division I, this is
Yeah.
a big deal for him.
Yep.
But he was an acquired taste as a player too. He was the beat of his own drum. But when the lights came on, he did a great job as a player.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Smart. Played to win. He's a great family. He's got 6 children.
I know. That's what I can't believe. I don't know how. And his wife is a Purdue athlete. Is that right?
She was a volleyball player.
Right,
yes.
and I'm drawing a complete blank on her name, and I feel bad about that. But she's got when you have 6 children and you're a professor and you're coaching major college basketball, you got your hands full.
Yeah, you're very, very, very busy.
Yeah. You look at Brian Cardinal and some of the guys that kind of epitomized your career at Purdue, and the guys that are still around. How much is that when you have the chance to interact with these guys, these former players, and you're at the phase of your life where you mean the world to them, and it's a two-way street. I mean, what is that like for you in terms of, you've been around Brian a lot, but you see guys that you don't see all the time sometimes that come up and you get a chance to rekindle that relationship.
First of all, I'm very proud of him,
Yeah.
and I've been so lucky to be able to coach guys like that. Brian Cardinal, what we used to call him, the custodian.
Yeah, Citizen Pain, whatever you want to do, that's right.
Dusting the floor,
Yeah.
but diving on the floor, and he was just a great, aggressive, hustle, play hard, want-to-win guy. And he was the only player, I think, that really wanted to go to the Final Four more than the coaches.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. He was a great guy, still is, and we have a lot of fun.
Now, there's some video that I can hardly bear. Purdue fans have a hard time watching, and it still was hard for the end of the Virginia game. You got a lot of airtime because you and Dick Bennett were going back and forth. It was an emotional time and a crazy finish to a basketball game, the Purdue-Virginia Elite Eight game. Looking back now at it, I mean, what was that experience like for you? I mean, you're so close to seeing your guy Matt Painter and your program go to the Final Four.
Well, it was like a lot of times here, heartbreak.
Yeah.
But you know what heartbreak does? It builds your character.
Yeah.
So, and you got to come back and do it again and be tougher the next time. Be smarter and learn from your mistakes. So, and Matt will do that. He was one of the smartest guys I ever coached and one of the hardest working guys. He was a great assistant. He was really a great player for us. So they'll be okay from that and then come back and be better.
They got a lot of balance coming back in this year's team. We were talking about, and Brian was going through the list of guys. One of the guys that we didn't talk about, Travion Williams, he just has, I think it's interesting about Matt's roster this year, just a lot of different pieces that it will be fascinating to see how he puts it together.
Put it together, yeah. Going to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be a fun thing. Are you going to make any trips with him? Are you going to Florida with him in November?
You have to ask Kathleen that. She has the checkbook. I don't know. I want to, but we'll see what happens.
That's not.
We want to go to Ireland and visit some of our ancestors there and see what happens. But we'll see.
Do you have the big Irish? Is Kathleen Irish as well?
She's an Irish citizen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So you're going to have some work to do when you get over there and have a chance to look.
No, I'm not going to have work to do. I'm going to play golf.
Well, but you got to look up that lineage stuff and all
that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
She can do that for you.
Yeah.
She can do that for you and take care of that.
Yes.
All right. So when you look at what's coming up for Purdue football, obviously tomorrow Vanderbilt. You know a little bit about Vanderbilt, very tough-minded program, very well coached. You've played your share of football. I'm not going to ask you necessarily what Purdue has to do to win, but this is a game that if you're Jeff Brom, you just got to get out there with a W, you would think.
Well, I don't know that. I'm not trying to help coach. I just know I'll be there backing them, and hopefully they'll pull it out. But Wake Forest and Vanderbilt and Purdue have the same colors.
Yeah.
And they have the same kind of academic toughness. And if you get a degree from any of those universities, you've got a chance to have a great job someplace. So that's what it's all about. When your athletic career is over, if you got a degree from a college like Purdue or Vanderbilt, you got a chance to get a great job someplace with some security in the future, if there is such a thing.
Yeah.
I never felt very secure coaching.
I know. I always take that to work every day. We were talking about this. Have talked about that with the staff. He said never felt comfortable.
No,
as a coach.
never felt comfortable.
It's
I felt happy
Yeah.
and good to be here, but never felt secure as far as well, I'll be okay. No, every
Now,
day.
that may
you
be the
just-
wrong thing to tell your colleagues that are, both my colleagues are sitting here, but you don't feel, there's a fine line between whether you feel comfortable and it forces you to continue to work hard, right?
Yeah, I don't think if you feel comfortable, you're not motivated. You got to be ready to go every day.
Yeah.
Every day, come back ready to work hard and have a good attitude, have great integrity. I've read 5 books in the last 3 months, and they're all about integrity. A big problem now in our country with athletes is one-parent families. So, because they need male figures in their life to make sure they understand what it takes to be successful. But by the same token, when we had tough mothers,
Yeah.
those players were tough.
Yeah.
So it kind of all got to go together. It's got to be a family.
Yeah, no doubt. It takes a lot of people to get that done. All right, we're going to let the coach go on to. He has a busy social schedule, so we're glad
Yeah.
that he fit it in. And Jill Spencer is always good to help set all this up for us.
I
And we
always play golf with
appreciate it.
Leroy Keys when I'm here.
Does he hit it? Do you guys both still swing as hard as you used to?
Oh yeah, they just don't go anywhere.
Now
No, we have fun.
Oh, Leroy,
It's a great time.
it's fun to watch. It's worth the price of admission to watch you guys just swing at the golf ball, and you hit it, so that's good. Leroy's still hitting it well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and,
Just played about a half hour ago.
yeah, that's a good thing. Leroy also a friend of the show, and I'm sure he'll make his way over to Golden Black Live sometime this fall. All right, we're gonna wrap up this show, and Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Thank
We
you.
always enjoy it.
Good luck to the football team Saturday.
Yeah, they're going to need it, but that'll be a fun thing to watch. It's why we love sports, because you never know exactly what.
Never know what's coming next.
That is absolutely true. Next week, Golden Black Live will be on Friday, which is when it is at 2 o'clock. Our guest Tim Newton and also Mike Berghoff will join us. Also, the chair of the board of trustees. Both guys will come at it from a different perspective, but we love having Tim on. Tim is a great, obviously, the play-by-play voice of Purdue football. Does a great job with that. Always has an interesting perspective of what he's watching. And Mike Berghoff, a lot of all these changes in athletics that have happened. A lot of it has come from him and Mitch Daniels and certainly the board. And Mike has always been gracious with talking about what is next for Purdue athletics from a board of trustees standpoint. I want to thank our sponsors: Triple X, Hilton Garden Inn, Basham Reynolds, and of course State Farm agent Trent Johnson. Thank you so much for all your support. 10 years of doing this. We're in our 10th season. We keep saying that, but can't believe that's true. But we want to thank also Gordon and Steve Clark and all the folks WLFI for making this happen. If you missed part of the show, go back and watch it. And also one thing, and I know Brian wants me to get this in there, YouTube. We now have a YouTube channel at Golden Black. Make sure that you sign up as a member of that as well. That's off to a good start as we continue to grow that too. So a lot going on in the world of Purdue sports. We'll look forward to bringing it to you next week on Golden Black Live. Have a great week, everybody.